Soldier Georges Roy, who lost his eyes and arms in the war, marries Marguerite Lavenu in Paris. October 1917. They were from the same village in Normandy but scarcely knew each other. Colorized photo of the Kon-Tiki, a raft built by Norwegian explorer Thor Heyerdahl in an attempt to prove that pre-Columbian South Americans could reach Polynesia. 1947. The great manta that was captured by Captain A. L. Kahn on August 26, 1933. The huge ray was reported to have weighed over 5,000 pounds and measured more than 20 feet across the wing. German prisoners of war, as they watch a footage shot at a German concentration camp. 1945. Photograph of the 2-minute warning on Bloody Sunday, Alabama, 1965. On March 7, 1965, 600 civil rights protesters attempted a march from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama, the state capital, to draw attention to the voting rights issue. Sign placed in front of the Memphis Zoo on Thursday, Negro Day, the only day of the week that African Americans were allowed to visit, 1959. The San Diego Mothball Fleet in 1946. This was just a portion of the unneeded American ships left over after World War II. USA had about 6,000 ships in service during WW2. Today we have less than 300. A young Lev Bronstein poses for a police photograph in 1898. During his time in prison and exile he would become a Marxist and adopt the pseudonym Trotsky. A mother mourns beside the corpses of her 5 children during the Armenian Genocide. 1915. A French woman who had a baby with a German soldier has her head shaved, as a sign of humiliation. Her mother suffered the same treatment. August 18, 1944. Before alarm clocks there were knocker-uppers. Mary Smith earned 6 pence a week shooting dried peas at sleeping workers' windows. Limehouse Fields, London. Undated. Photograph from Philip Davies' Lost London, 1870 to 1945. Chichen Itza, Mexico in 1862 before cleaning and restoration. During its construction, the Mayans deforested the areas around their settlements to a dangerous and potentially civilization-ending level, but in the present, the jungle always threatens to reclaim the structures. Opening ceremony of the 1980 Moscow Olympic Games. USA boycotted the Moscow Olympics due to the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, which was met with a similar boycott of the 1984 Games in Los Angeles. An 8-year-old Italian boy holding a handful of detonators he had removed from German hand grenades in Italy. 1944. Florida's last Civil War veteran, Bill Lundy, poses with a jet fighter in 1955. It is amazing that he lived from the time of muskets and covered wagons to supersonic jets and other wondrous inventions. Secret Service agents walk on both sides of President Theodore Roosevelt's carriage during his inauguration on March 4, 1905. He was the first president to be provided Secret Service protection. Secret Service agents walk on both sides of President Theodore Roosevelt's carriage during his inauguration on March 4, 1905. He was the first president to be provided Secret Service protection. Sesame Street rehearsal, 1980s. An undercover police officer apprehends a mugger on the New York City subway in 1980. Photo was taken by Bruce Davidson. Bruce was helping the NYPD capture muggers in the subway. Woman counter-protesting with her daughters at a Black Civil Liberties rally in Bogalusa, Louisiana in 1965. It should be noted that Bogalusa elected their first black, female mayor last year. Worker and supervisor of a car factory in Moscow, USSR. 1954 colorized. A hooded witness testifies in court on narcotic traffic in Washington state. April 30, 1952. This type of testimony was ruled unconstitutional because it prevented the jury from assessing the witness's credibility. For German soldiers in bunk beds who had been woken up for a surprise photograph during World War I. 1917, the German trenches were so well established that they had full underground rooms complete with wallpaper in some. Britain's second black policeman P.C. Norwell Gums later changed his name to Norwell Roberts, directing traffic in 1968. Kindergarten teacher Helen Hulick, a witness to a burglary, was given a 5-day sentence and sent to jail for contempt for wearing pants to give her courtroom testimony in Los Angeles. 1938.